headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio. It's the Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. It's a free call anywhere in the country at 888-825-5225. And I am Rachel Cruz, hosting this hour with best-selling author and Ramsey personality, Ken Coleman. So we are taking your calls about anything, life, money, relationships, career. So give us a call. And if you like the show, if you guys enjoy the Ramsey Show, whether it's on YouTube or podcast or traditional radio, make sure that, tell your friends about it. Share the news. Talk about, kind of even what you find interesting,
Yes.
and introduce your friends to it, because our goal, it's why we sit in these chairs for 3 hours every single day and do a live show,
That's right.
is to help America. We want to really hit against the toxic culture that's going on and hopefully give some hope and some direction for what's going on in your life. So again, give us a call at 888-825-5225. All right, up first of the show this hour, Catherine in LA.
Oh, love Los Angeles.
Hi, Catherine. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me. I think I need some tough love as I sit in my Tesla.
Plugged mine in about an hour ago, Catherine.
Well,
I appreciate
there
that.
goes the tough love, because Rachel loves her a Tesla.
I do love a Tesla.
Yeah, mine's paid for, I'll say.
Very nice.
Perfect. So we don't have to sell it. We're doing good.
Check.
So I think I have so many complicated questions until I play over what I think you guys are going to say to me, and I know the answer. So I was debt-free, a millionaire with a property that was, had a lot of equity and, some money in the bank and a good income. And I was a single mom. I was widowed at 39.
Oh, wow.
And I had a nice nest egg, no debt. I met a fantastic man. We got married a few years ago. And with this awesome guy that, adopted my daughter came a massive amount of debt. To the tune of close to $500,000. And it was school loans and some credit card and some high interest, short-term debt. And I want to know, the nest egg that I had built up was mine, but it's ours. The home equity, we sold that house, bought a house that we could all live in. We still have a lot of equity in that house. But am I paying off his school loans so that we can be debt-free? We have 2 paid-for cars. We have a lovely income. I just really have a hard time paying off his past life.
Yeah. And I hear that. And I, I feel like it's easier for us to kind of harp on the ones that just got married and they're like, oh, it's his debt, my debt. I'm like, you've just entered into a marriage, But when you've lived 2 separate lives, in a sense, right? Because you got married later, had kids, and it's like you're merging these 2 lives. I think it's a harder pill to swallow. So I hear that, Catherine. So don't say that I'm not saying that this is just easy, because I do have my answer and it is kind of black and white, but I want you to hear that it is hard. Like I get that. I absolutely get that. But here's the benefit. Let me say that. When couples can come together in a sense that you say, okay, this money that was mine, now I've entered into a marriage, and that means I am becoming one with someone else. And in every area of my life. And there's a sacrifice to that, right? You could put in money, you could put in time with that. You can put in maybe the way you want to raise kids, how you want to spend holidays. I mean, you could insert anything into that. And we just find that couples that have a sacrificial spirit, in a sense, to say, hey, I'm laying everything down and together we're going to build a life as one, they thrive. And not just financially, because financially I believe they do, because you can run a race so much faster when both of you are on that same page. But I think it's even deeper than that, Catherine. There's a spiritual element there that when you say everything that I have is yours, even this nest egg, and as hard as it is to be like, oh, when you become one with that person, it does something in your marriage. There's an intimacy and a richness there. Now, I'll let Ken jump in a second, but my other asterisk, though, Catherine, is I really want to make sure that he's done with this, right? If his spirit is and his attitude is, God, I was so stupid. I took out all those loans. I wish I didn't. never doing it again. We're living debt free. And it's this attitude shift as well, that you guys have the same value system. Then I feel like it would be easier to say, yeah, we're in this together. Now, if he doesn't and he's still kind of messing around with debt and it's a value system of yours to live debt free, then we have a marriage issue there, of a values issue. Does that make sense, Catherine?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I so connect with what you said. I think where I've played this is, I put our house on a 15-year mortgage. We paid off both of our cars. And I have him putting all of his income into his school loan payments every month.
Good.
And I hit the house really hard, and I make sure everything else is debt-free. I don't know that if I just paid those off, if that money that he has every month that's going off those loans would just disappear. So I don't know that.
Okay, so
I feel like we're on the same page when we talk retirement,
right.
But I don't know if short-term he would have the intensity to get that loan debt off, and that money might just disappear somewhere else.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I could feel that you were like, I know what you're going to say, and I know that there's something that's really eating at you. Are you guys, I have two questions. Are you guys shared bank accounts? Are you guys doing all your money together, or are you guys separate bank accounts?
Separate bank accounts?
Yeah, I could tell.
I pay all the bills.
I know.
So it's.
But here's my point. Here's why I asked the question. That's what's eating at you, because you've got some natural psychological tension, and that's why Dave, and as an extension, we for decades have said we want you, and Rachel just gave you the whole unity thing. And so you agreed with everything Rachel said. So if you agree with everything Rachel said, and I know you did, so you guys need to combine bank accounts, because that's where the tension is coming from. You're like, this is my money.
Oh, yeah.
I've worked hard. And then you're like, I'm having him put all of his income into the student loan. And so therein lies the tension by which you called today.
Yep.
So and listen, first of all, let me say, I completely understand why you feel the way you feel. I share Rachel's opinion on it. I get it. But you guys have decided to be married, and it's a long-term play, yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So today, we combine bank accounts. I still like the strategy of taking all of his income. I love the intensity, but I would not do him on the student loans and you on the house. It's no, we're going to put this in the baby steps. So we're going to put the student loans in baby step 2, and you've done this before. And so both of you attack the student loans, and then both of you pay off the house.
Yeah, and Catherine, hold on, because Austin's going to pick up, and we're going to give you a year subscription to Ramsey Plus, and it has every dollar in there, which is our budgeting app. And I was just texting with my husband this morning about ours, because I was like, what's this Venmo? Where should it go? And so I want you guys to budget together for 3 months, okay? And I want to say by February, there might be a more emotional ease for you to pay everything, pay it all off together as a team. Once you guys have been, even from a tactical sense, budgeting together, it's coming out of one account. Like, there is a unity there versus a separation, like Ken was saying. So, Catherine, I hope that helps, but stay on the line. Austin will pick up. This is The Ramsey Show.
Gazelle was made for you. The never-quitting, non-stopping Gazelle Intense. With Gazelle, you can say goodbye to monthly fees and experience a seamless integration with every dollar. So no matter how or where you spend, you are always in control. And since Gazelle is FDIC insured, you don't have to worry if your money is safe. Gazelle, the debit card that helps you spend and save the Ramsey way.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. So there was I don't know, funny, is that the word? A funny commercial, an ad that came out exactly 1 year ago today. And it has not aged well, Ken.
Oh, you're talking about Matt Damon.
The Matt Damon.
It was only funny in that it was so cheesy serious.
Just.
You know, I remember it was like these big, bold, historical moments. Do we have it?
I think we have it.
Oh, do we have
it?
the actual commercial?
Okay,
let's roll this.
Play it.
With those who almost adventured, who almost achieved, but ultimately, for them it proved to be too much.
Oh, devastating.
Then there are others. The ones who
There are those.
embrace the moment
Climb a snowy mountain.
Look at this
again.
guy.
and commit.
Yes.
And in these moments of truth, these men and women,
The airplane.
The Wright
These-
brothers.
mere mortals,
Didn't get that one.
Whoa.
like you
They're
and
just
me,
in the club.
as they peer over the edge, they calm their minds and steel their nerves with 4 simple words that have been whispered by the intrepid since the time of the Romans.
Wait for it.
What?
Fortune favors the brave.
Crypto.com.
Yeah. So I remember watching that.
Oh,
That was
man.
perfect. That's like I thought it was a Velveeta commercial. Like we were gonna see a block of cheese like float through the sky. So bad. And so this is fun because this was a year ago, and you know there's a term now that kids use on social media.
Ooh, what is it?
Like this tweet didn't age well.
Oh, yeah.
You've heard that
yes,
phrase?
Yes.
Well,
Did not
this
age well.
commercial did not age well. Let's just look at the numbers. By the way, I like Matt Damon. Okay, none of this is an
Matt
attack
Damon.
on Matt Damon. You know, the guy
No.
got paid handsomely to say all those ridiculously
sure.
cheesy lines.
Yes.
Had you calmed your mind and did what Matt Damon told you to do, and you spent $1,000 worth on Bitcoin that day, it was worth $60,608 back then, near its peak price,
Which is pretty amazing.
It would now just be worth $340. Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
So I don't know if fortune favors the brave or the wise. I think it's the wise. Now, am I sane? I mean, Dave and I have talked about this, you know, just kind of privately about cryptocurrency. I mean, right now it is so wildly speculative, not just because of the ups and downs, but because these kind of things rarely go unregulated. That's the whole point. It's going to be
Right.
unregulated. Governments
Right.
can't. Well, guess what?
No.
The Biden administration has already come out and say, well, we're going to come out with ours. Other world governments going to do the same thing. And so when something is unregulated, it's also unprotected, and you can lose your shirt and a whole lot of other things. So pretty interesting, and we have some fun at this because this is why we preach wisdom with money. Don't
Yes.
be speculative and take this, because Matt Damon could talk you into going, oh, wow, I want to be like Orville and Wilbur. Right, and I want to fly a plane, and I want to
Thank you
invest
for knowing the Wright
$1,000.
brothers' first names.
Somebody has
Well
to.
done. Well done.
Well, you got to make fun of me sometime during the show today. But I mean, it's playing on our emotions
know.
to get us to do something, and then walk around going, hey, I'm really brave. And what you really are is you're an adult. You're a moron if you make a decision financially like that with no background, no research, and it's a wild risk. You might as well just take $1,000 and burn it.
Well, for me, it's the long-term track record. That's what I always go back to, right?
Yeah.
If I'm going to put my money in something, I'm like, I just want to know that there's like, it's not everything's being predictable, right? The market, you know, who knows what's going to happen after November in the midterms and the market. We may see something move. Like
Right.
you don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. But you can look over the scope of time on something. And for me, if it's my hard-earned money that I've worked for, I'm like, I want to put it somewhere that I know
Right.
and have pretty great certainty
Right.
that over the course of time,
Right.
I'm going to make more on it.
Right.
So, yeah, the crypto thing. And it's such a fascinating thing because I just feel like so many celebrities have jumped on it.
Well, of course they jumped on. They got paid handsome money to do it.
Yeah, I know, but like
he doesn't even
it's
know what
not-
cryptocurrency is.
It's not like there's like an online bank that all these, that's like it's pretty funny just that whole genre, and they've attracted the celebrity pop culture aspect of life.
Well, our colleague
which-
George Camel likes to call crypto, what does he call Mary Kay for young men?
Mary Kay
It's a
for young
great
men.
line. And I will say this really quick before we move on. The thing I love about that commercial that is so ridiculously funny is it's all about these big, bold moves, and then it shows a dude making his move in a nightclub. Like, what was that doing in there? I still don't get this. Like, here's a guy climbing Mount Everest, here's space astronauts, and then here's some dude. Hey. I just don't get it. So anyway.
Well.
1 year ago today, Matt Damon challenged you
the fortune
to be brave.
Favors the brave.
You would have been better off taking that $1,000 and playing craps with it in Vegas.
Especially with me as you're at your table.
Well, you are the hot hand.
That's all I'm
you
saying.
have the hot hand. No question about it.
All right. Up next is Cy in Utah. Hi, Cy. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How can we help?
Well, I just have kind of a two-part question. Trying to just plan for the future. I'm 21 and my girlfriend is 21 as well. We're just trying to decide, how we should go forward with looking for a place to live. We want to get married sometime next, maybe late spring, early summer. And with the way house prices are right now, and we just weren't sure if we should rent or look into a small, cheaper home. But I was gone for the past 2 years, serving a mission for my church, and so I wasn't making any income during that time. I've been home since May, and I've been working, started a trade school, and my girlfriend has been saving like a mad woman for those 2 years as well. She's managed to save about $83,000.
Oh, wow. Good for her.
Yeah, she did awesome there.
That's great. Well, let me tell you this, Cy. One of the things that we have found is in that first year of marriage, I would just rent. I wouldn't put the pressure of finding a home because you'll soon find out very quickly that a home ownership in general is just very expensive. And there's just a level of responsibility that you take on as a homeowner. And if you don't have to have that, especially your first year of marriage of transitioning and kind of figuring out life together, and you're able to just rent and you have a landlord, you let the housing market do what it's going to do, but you guys then have a chance to say, okay, what part of the city do we want to live in? Where specifically do we want to be? How far do we want to be from our parents? How close do we want to be from our parents?
That's a key detail.
All of that. You just learn a lot about life and each other and even what you want. Like as you live life together, even over a year, you start to see, okay, here are the things that we really value, that we are going to want in a home. And you just don't know all of that before you're married. So I always recommend pausing that first year of marriage. So you're looking at, again, spring, summer of 24 to buy something. And you guys have time. Don't rush it. You're okay. Everyone's going to be like, buy a house, buy a house, buy a house, buy a house. Renters go to hell, buy a house, buy a house, buy a house. And it's like, you don't have, it's okay. It's okay. You're not throwing money away. You're being patient and you're being wise. So that's what we always recommend.
So the other part of my question then is a lot of people in my family have been kind of pressuring me to maybe get a credit card now and start building credit so that I can help her to maybe take out a loan eventually. And I don't know if that's the smart thing to do or not, because after listening to the show, I'm pretty terrified to get a credit card.
Well, the reason that you build up a credit score, yes, is some people would say, well, to get a mortgage. And that is true. You use a credit score to get a mortgage, but you also don't have to have a credit score to get a mortgage. You can do what's called manual underwriting, but you guys are going to have to be current on a job and with other bills for, I think, on average 2 years. So the process does take a little bit longer, but it's worth it. It's not worth going in and playing the credit card game and trying to get your points and get your credit score up and do all of that. It's worth just staying debt-free. You guys having that black and white value system, I think, is really helpful to stay together. We're not taking on any debt. But hold on the line. Austin's going to pick up. We're going to give you Financial Peace University for you guys as a wedding gift for it to come. And you guys go through it together. And then you guys make these decisions together. But hopefully you come to the same page.
I say it all the time. If you're a business owner and you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And when markets are shifting, it's even more important. You've got to know where you stand so you make your next move the right move. And you don't have to be in the dark here. Over 31,000 businesses, including my team at Ramsey, know their numbers because they use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, planning, budgeting, and inventory so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Having everything in one place has saved my team hours each week since we made the switch to NetSuite. NetSuite is a game changer. So head on over to netsuite.com/Ramsey to get a product tour today. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
On Wednesday, we announced our very first Smart Conference weekend, a full weekend here in Nashville, and it'll actually be our very first event at the new Ramsey Event Center.
This is very exciting news.
So fun. Oh, we cannot wait to
I'm
host
very
you guys.
excited.
And Nashville, I mean, it's a destination city.
Come on.
And
hot chicken, waffles, chicken and waffles, country music. I mean, you
Sweet
never know who
tea.
you're going to run into.
I know. It's so good. And Smart Conference, it's probably one of my favorite events that we do. It is
Absolutely.
the biggest event that we do at Ramsey, and it is a jam-packed event that we cover every area of your life. So again, we're hosting it at the new Ramsey Event Center, and it's going to be the entire weekend. And it's not only, again, going to help you in your life, in every area of your life, but we're going to make it a full Nashville experience. So,
And we got a Friday night, then all day Saturday.
which is so
So
fun.
the stuff that we're scheming and dreaming about for that Friday night, you just never know who's going to show up.
I know, it's so great.
You know what I mean?
You never know here in Nashville. We got some good friends in Nashville, so
We
you
do.
never know.
We
You never
do.
know.
We do.
But the personalities will be speaking all day Saturday and maybe even Friday. We'll see. But it'll be myself, Dave Ramsey, Ken Coleman sitting here next to me, George Camel, Dr. John Zaloni, and Christina Ellis. And here's the deal. We only have limited tickets for this event, and the platinum level is already sold out.
Is it really?
2 days, already sold
Yeah,
out.
people want to come to Nashburg.
Yeah, so there's things that obviously these are going fast, but we still have only VIP and general admission left.
Wow.
And every pass will include a souvenir badge to commemorate the grand opening weekend,
Yeah.
which is so great.
The
So fun.
Ramsey Event Center is a shining city on a hill, literally. It's a monster edifice that is just beautiful.
It's awesome. It is awesome.
It'll be
So
fun.
that weekend is April 14th and 15th. Again, it's a Friday and Saturday, a Friday night and an all-day Saturday.
Spring in Nashville? Are you kidding
It's wonderful. Tickets start at $79 and you don't want to wait. So go to RamseySolutions.com/events to reserve your spot at Smart Conference. I can't wait for that.
Can I wear linen that early? Or do I have to wait till Memorial Day? Do you know what the cutoff is?
Not many
You didn't
men,
see
not
that
many
coming.
men in my life ask about linen. Is it jacket or pants?
I don't know. I started thinking about a spring event and getting all fancy for the people, and I
All
thought,
the people-
is it too early for linen?
No, April feels right. That feels good.
I typically wear the linen for Easter Sunday. I like to
know.
break out the linen seersuckers.
You're a seersucker.
And Stacey really likes Preppy Ken.
Wow.
She does. Yeah.
Wow.
And I do too. Let's be honest.
You know, man, that takes me back to college. We did seersucker in college.
You know,
Back in the day, but not so much
there's
anymore.
nothing wrong with it. And
No.
to really just
Preppy Ken.
yeah. And I like to wear the saddle shoes with them. So that just really brings the whole outfit.
Whole outfit. So that's
trying to
definitely a
catch you off
reason
guard
to
today.
come
I
to
might
Smart
do it.
Conference.
If you come to Smart Conference, despite Dave's objections, I will wear some seersucker pants with some
It's
saddle
fantastic.
shoes.
I think fantastic, Ken. It's worth every penny.
Yeah, it might
worth
be.
every penny you pay for it.
Yep, there you go.
All right. Next up, we have Drew in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Hey, Drew, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. How can we help?
So, in the past 5 months, I recently bought a house, so I'm new to having a mortgage, and I might have bought a car too, so I have a car payment, and I just wanted to know what you guys recommend me doing as far as paying them both off Like, I'm guessing you're going to say do the car first, but I just wanted to see what you guys think, like what I should do.
Sure. How much do you make a year, Drew?
I make around $5,000 a month.
Okay. And how much is the car payment?
$600.
Okay. What other debt do you have?
That's it. Just a house and car.
Just that. Okay. How much is the car worth?
I think in today's market, like $40,000.
Okay. Drew, I'm going to tell you to sell the car.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Drew, your car costs as much as you take home. If you know what I mean? Like, it's almost what you make in a year.
Yeah.
I know.
Drew, how old are you?
21.
Yeah, it's great. You're fine. Listen, we all make mistakes.
What kind of car is it?
It's a Subaru WRX.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Got to get rid of it.
2021.
Yeah.
I know.
Come on,
Drew, because here's the deal.
No one should ever pay that much for a Subaru.
$600 car payment a month. Can you imagine if you just kept it? If you just had that money?
So do you guys recommend I just take what I have saved and buy like a beater car? Or
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man, you got to save up for something a little nicer. It'll motivate you to get something better than the beater.
Okay.
How much do you have in savings?
Around $15,000.
Okay,
Oh,
good for you. Good for you.
so
Drew.
wait. So hold on a second. What's the car worth, you think?
Car's worth what I owe. I just bought it when I bought the house like 6 months ago.
All right, so you basically zero out a little bit. So you would have. Do you have any other debt?
No.
Okay, so you got $1,000 in the emergency fund. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you got 14 to work with.
Yeah.
Dude, let me just tell you something. I'm very passionate about this subject because I'm looking for a car for my 16-year-old.
Yes.
So I'm looking all the time. All right, dude, listen to me. You can get way better than a beater for $14,000 right now. You absolutely can.
Okay.
Yeah. So I love your spirit, but you don't have to get a piece of crap. Not with what you've got.
And Drew, I would even back it down. I wouldn't spend all $14,000. I would keep some in savings because you want to have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund.
Yeah.
So you'll get that pretty quickly. And then once you have that complete, then you can look to see. So I would buy something now.
7 to 10.
Yeah, 7 to 10. Keep the remainder. Build up your emergency fund, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then from there, you're like, okay, you can save up, and you can keep stepping up and carve. That's the great thing about, obviously the market's a little strange right now, but that's the great thing about cars is I'm like, you can continue to you can drive something, you can kind of make it look all nice, sell it right now, maybe sell it for more than what you bought it for.
Possibly. I got to look into it.
And then keep just stepping up. So a car is not something that you feel you have to have. Like a house, we want you to have it more than 5 years.
No.
But a car, you can keep stepping up whenever you want. So that's the thing. And I just don't want this $600. I want you to start investing into retirement. I want you to start doing things for the long term and paying off the house early. And this $600 is going to go so far for you, Drew, so far for you. So I would just chalk it up to saying, hey,
do it today, by the way.
I made a mistake. I got in the heat of the moment, buying a new house, want a new car, I want to be an adult. I'm 21. I'm out on my own. And you got a little ahead of yourself, Drew. So I would, I'd sell the car.
And do it now. Like, don't wait for this to wear off and somebody else to talk you out of it.
Yes.
That's what I worry about young people. You got so many people that are older than them that have a place of influence in their life.
Yep.
And they tell them to do stupid stuff.
We used to have a video. I wonder if we still have it. It was an old video back when I started speaking right out of college. This was 13 years ago. I used it in my presentations for high schoolers. It was called Drive Free, Retire Rich.
Yeah.
And Alan Harris, who used to be on the content team here, he voiced it.
Yeah.
And it was this great 4-minute video.
Yeah.
And it showed, instead of having a car payment, if you invested your money and you invested a car payment every month, and then on the side you saved up some money and you kept stepping up in car, basically what you could make in just interest on that mutual fund by the time you're like 55 would pay for new cars for the rest of your life, taking that interest.
I love that.
So it's just the power of where are you putting your money? And when you're putting your money in a car payment and in a loan and paying interest on something that's going down in value for the most part. I know used cars are weird right now, but do you know what I mean? It's just this mindset shift of how do I use my money to work for me? Yeah. Instead of letting it work for the bank. Yeah. And that's what ends up happening when you take out a car payment.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, I love it. I just think so many people get. I mean, there's a very popular subset or set of videos out on TikTok of people just telling everybody with a giant smile on their face how much they owe or what their car payment is, like it's a badge of honor. And people are like, "We owe $1,200," and they're like all excited about it, and it's just become the norm to where it's just like, hey. Everybody does it, so we don't even think about how detrimental it is to our financial life and our life in general. So,
and what it could be. Yep.
Used
So
cars
good.
are great. Paid for cars are even better.
Yes. Thanks, Drew, for calling. Hope you make the right decision. Sell the Subaru. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I am Rachel Cruz, hosting this hour with Ramsey personality and best-selling author Ken Coleman.
By the way, I should have emailed you before the show, or maybe a courtesy text to tell you to wear your UT stuff, because I know you're very proud. We were at a live event, and you were telling everybody that would listen, go Vols, which you should.
Go Vols.
And I'm wearing the Michigan gear today, the Michigan Wolverines, undefeated. So both of our teams are in the top 4, I believe. And so,
which it still just makes my heart glad when I hear that. I haven't heard that phrase.
I know.
For the University of Tennessee.
Welcome. The water's nice.
And over probably
we're the winningest program, by the way, in college football history. Michigan is total wins. So I just want to point that out. And we play Sparty, our hated rival.
And I
this
think
weekend.
that because Neyland Stadium, as some would say,
is slightly less seats than Michigan. The big house.
I know, but we're the two largest
stadiums. Yeah.
I know. And Tennessee's what, 106?
Somewhere in that range. I should have. My point is I should have had you wear some Tennessee gear. I didn't let you know that I was going to be.
I actually had my old sweatshirt on this morning.
Yeah,
my Tennessee crest.
Yeah, a lady out in the lobby right now at Ramsey Solutions watching. She's touting her Wisconsin gear. I don't know why. God bless her.
So sorry.
They're terrible.
So sorry,
but we still like her.
Oh, fall is great.
A little bit of trolling and trash talk to start the segment,
great,
James.
Though. We love football.
We love football and trolling.
Especially college football.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's the best. All right. Up next, we got Tracy in Nashville. Hey, Tracy. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you guys today?
We're doing great. How can we help?
So my husband and I are going to be receiving some money at the end of this year, and we're not sure what to do with it.
How much?
So we were calling for suggestions.
Okay.
Between what we're going to be receiving and what we have in the bank, we're going to have about $700,000.
Whoa.
That's great. How much is that? I'm curious, how much have you guys saved? How much of that $700,000 is what you saved versus what you're going to receive?
We saved 130 of that.
Okay, so it's a lot coming from the sale of this.
Okay.
That's great. Good
give
for
us,
you guys.
Give Rachel a snapshot here. So do you have any debt?
We are debt-free.
House too?
We make, yes, everything is paid off completely.
Amazing.
Our income is between $350 and $400 a year.
Whoa.
Good for you guys, Tracy. Well done.
This is all new. This is all just kind of transpired within the last few months. So we're not sure what to do with this lump coming in, and then we're not sure what to do with all the extra that we're now going to have on a monthly basis.
Okay, so what happened in the past few months that created this big of a change?
A firm that we were a partner in was merged with another company, so we received our investment return.
Okay, I gotcha. And will you still be making that kind of money after this all happens?
Yes.
You will. Okay, that's great.
Yep.
Well done, Tracy. That is very exciting. So, when it comes to this kind of thing and there's no debt, you have obviously savings it gets down to those basics, Tracy, that what you do with money, you can give it, you can save it, and you can spend it. And I recommend doing all three. So I would sit down with your husband and I would look at it and say, okay, what are things that we are passionate about that we want to give to? And I would really plug in to, as many as you guys want, but maybe two places, whether they're ministries or whether they're nonprofits, but something that you guys really have a heart for. And I would encourage you to dig into all of that and give some of this, the amount, up to you, what you want. We always teach giving 10% and even more. But I would recommend that. I would put some in investments. I would continue to fund retirements. And then you guys can look to see, okay, what else do we want to do? Do we want to open up a mutual fund, throw some money in? Do we want to do real estate? Because with this kind of money, you could buy a property if you've wanted to and kind of get into real estate as an investment. And then you guys need to take some of this and enjoy it and go on a nice trip or buy something that you've wanted to buy for a while. I would recommend to enjoy some of it as well. So it's really those three buckets, which is what's so funny about money to me, Tracy, is like, those are the three things I teach my kids is you give, you save, you spend. And it's just the truth of what we still do today. And I would recommend, doing all three.
Tracy, I would look up several SmartVestor pros at RamseySolutions.com right here in our area, and I would sit with a minimum of 3 if you don't already have one. Do you have one already?
We do, and they aren't aware of this money yet. We just found out this week.
Okay, great. Great. Okay, so let me
game plan before we tell them.
Great.
Because what we have in the market's down 30%, so I'm not sure I want to put it in the market.
Yeah, but that that it's a discount right now, and especially for you guys where you are financially in unbelievable shape. I haven't stopped investing in my 401k. I haven't stopped investing because I'm getting stuff at a discount. Just to give you an idea, I don't know what it's done the last day, but 2 or 3 days this week, the market was back up. So, this is the roller coaster. It's how it goes. I'll revise my advice. I want you to go sit with your SmartVestor Pro. You guys already have a relationship and go, hey, here's what's happened. And I think Rachel's advice is tremendous. I think I would give. First of all, I'd celebrate. I'd spend some, do something great with that kind of windfall. Make a memory, for crying out loud. That's what Stacey and I would do. We'd go, okay, we're going to carve out, I'm serious, carve out some of this money and do something that you'll talk about when you're 80. I'd do that. I think Rachel's right. I would give a nice chunk of it out of gratitude and making an impact. And then the rest of it, I would invest with your SmartVestor Pro and multiply that windfall for more celebrating, more giving. So I think you're in great shape. Sit down and come up with a plan, and they'll walk you through all your fears. By the way, tell them that. You got to sit with your SmartVestor Pro and go, you know what? I've seen my accounts take a 30% ding. I want to sit on this. And let's just walk through it, talk through all the scenarios. But I think you guys are in great shape, and I'm glad you have a SmartVestor Pro you can trust. And this is amazing. Okay. But, hey, can I just tell you, I want you to have a little dream session tonight. Like what's that big memory that we might make, Let's go celebrate with some of this.
I'm kind of just in shock about it all, so I think it's going to take me a little while
that's right.
This concept.
That's right. So helping you come out of the shock, let's dream a little bit and come up with a great trip or some unbelievable thing, and then come up with a crazy blessing for somebody. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll bring you down to earth pretty quick.
Absolutely. Thanks. Have a great weekend.
Awesome. Thanks, Tracy.
Send us a postcard.
I know.
Remember those? Do you even know what a postcard is? I don't know.
Yes.
You're always making fun of me of my old age and all that stuff.
I am youthful.
I would like a postcard. I would like a postcard from Tracy.
From Tracy, wherever she goes.
Dear Rachel and Ken.
Here's where we went.
Had a great lobster meal in Fiji today. Thought you'd want a picture of it. I don't know what it is.
And what's funny too, I'm like, with a certain amount of money, and Dave says it all the time, but he's like, once you eat, too much lobster can start to just taste like soap.
I'd like to try that.
There's a point that stuff is just stuff, and stuff is not wrong. Yeah, it is okay to have nice stuff. So we are definitely not against that. And just like we told Tracy, go and enjoy some of it. Yeah. But man, there's just nothing like hearing about a single mom.
Yes.
Who's struggling, and you just show up with a car. And you're like, here you go.
Oh,
here's a
totally.
car.
That's
here's
exactly
a car.
Right.
Or there's a family, that's doing foster care, and you just go and show up with a $1,000 Amazon gift card.
Yes.
Because that's nothing for Tracy right now.
Yeah.
$700,000. $1,000 would freaking change someone's life in that way, right?
So true.
I mean, it's that kind of stuff that
come in and just like take care of someone's Christmas.
Oh man,
that just had no hope at all. I mean, you're exactly right.
There's so much fun in that.
There's no 5-star resort that's going to give you that feeling.
Yes.
And we
want you to do both, right? That's the fun of all of this is that you get to experience. But I think that when I talk to a lot of people in the money space, that generosity piece is not always there in teaching, and so I do want all of you listening to let that be a motivation too, right? Those of you that are getting out of debt, you're in baby steps 1 through 3 and you're pushing forward, like go and enjoy and have fun with your money. Use it as a tool and enjoy it. But also dream about like, man, what are the crazy things we could do one day? What if we paid for someone's adoption? Like just have these dreams. You know what I think would be fun?
Show up and meet somebody and go, hey, we're going to Fiji for the next 10 days and we're taking you with us. You're not going to stay with us, but we'll take you.
We'll just take it.
We'll drop you off on the other side of the aisle.
That's great. Well, that's a good hour in the books, Ken. Thanks to everyone in the booth. All you gentlemen back there, thank you, Ken. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey, it's Rachel Cruz, co-host on The Ramsey Show. If you want to do your debt-free scream live on the show, visit RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream. We'd love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story. That's RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, it's The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I am Rachel Cruz, hosting this hour with Ramsey personality and best-selling author and host of The Ken Coleman Show, Ken Coleman himself. We are here to take your calls at 888-825-5225. It's a free call anywhere in the country, and we're here to talk and have a conversation about what's going on in your life. And, I was thinking about this, Ken, Dr. John Deloney talks about this a lot. It's just like the isolation of life and how few people have good friends. And we always want to push you to have relationships in life, right? To have friendships in life. But if there's something that you're like, man, I just need a second opinion on this. Here's what I'm thinking. I have some questions. That's what we're here for.
That's right. And let me point out, too, I'm here today and we want to talk about your work, too. If you feel like you're in a stagnant, stuck situation, one of the greatest ways to increase your income is a better job. Dave has said for decades, your income is your greatest wealth building tool. So big shovel stuff, I'd love to take those questions. You feel like you got a toxic work situation. Can you get out of it? Well, can I'm in the baby steps? Any angle from there, Rachel and I will combine the advice there on the money side and the work side. I'd love to take some of those questions, trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, anything in that area as well, plus the relationships, plus the money. Who knows? Maybe you can ask us anything. Doesn't mean we'll answer it.
That's right.
I guess. Is that the way to put it?
Yeah. We'll try our best.
All right, let's go. I'm standing by.
All right, up next, we got Paul in San Antonio to start us off this hour. Hey, Paul, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
We're doing well. How can we help?
Okay. My mother is 89 years old with dementia.
Oh, wow.
I just I'm actually moving her this week in a nursing home. I sold her house after a walk away, paying tax and some debt she owed. Ended up with $250,000, okay?
Okay.
Plus her pension, she gets $1,900 a month. Now, every month I got to write a check to the nursing home, approximately $4,000, okay?
Okay.
This $250,000 that I have from the house is going to pay for her nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just putting it in a checking account with her name, with me power of attorney, is there some way to manage that money where it can be making some interest? Or because for it just sitting in a checking account doesn't seem smart to me, What's your idea on that? What could I do?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, knowing her state and where she's at, she's 98, which she's lived an incredible life.
No, 89.
89. I'm so sorry. I thought you said 98. 89. And she, how long has she had dementia for?
About 3 years.
Okay. I'm so sorry. That's a hard thing to watch a loved one. My grandmother went through that. So, we can't predict how long she'll be there. That's kind of what I'm trying to do the math to see, because 50, you're paying close to $50,000 a year, which is great. So meaning that she can stay in this for years.
5 years. Yeah. 5 years.
And so, honestly, Paul, the way everything's going right now, when you invest, it's more thinking 5 years or longer, you're keeping your money in the market. So doing anything risky like that with this money makes me nervous right now. And just again, how volatile the market is, because it's such a short-term play for you with this money, meaning 5 years or less. And so I know it doesn't feel like, it's a good move just to have it in a checking account. But I would probably honestly just put it in a money market account. You're not going to make a ton of interest, but this money isn't here for the purpose of making more money. It's there to pay her bills that she has to have in order to stay there. And so
now she does receive $1,900 a month on her retirement. So
yes,
she'll be getting $1,900 a month. So that's about half. So actually, you will be paying like about a little over $2,000, say $2,100.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's so true. Yep. But still, honestly, Paul, if I were you, I just wouldn't put it in something that it could lose money in this, because you don't have the time frame to see it play out over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And so if I were you, having that money accessible that I can get to when I need it, knowing it's there, knowing there's a predictable amount in there, that it's not fluctuating up and down majorly, would give me peace, and I feel like would honor her really well. So again, it's not flashy, it's not exciting, but I don't think that's what this money's for. I think it's to help keep her in a nursing home for as long as possible.
I was thinking some kind of money market or something where I have the checking account to pay her nursing home, and say put like $50,000 or $50,000 in it every year.
Yes, that's right. So a money market account would be a great option. So that's what I would do. But again, you're not going to see crazy returns on that. You'll see more than a traditional savings account or a checking account. But again, that money is there really more like an insurance in a sense than an investment. So that's the way I would look at it.
Okay. Yeah, I really appreciate you talking to me. I've been wrecking my brain on this. She could die tomorrow, or she could die in 5 years. But no matter what, I don't want them money just all of it sitting in a checking account, not doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. But again, I think that mindset of it's insurance, not an investment, but a money market account is what I would do. And my husband and I, we have a money market account. We just put some savings in. It's where our emergency fund is and extra money that we have every month. And I think we use Ally Bank. It's an online bank, so there's some really accessible, easy ways to sign up for a money market account. You can do your local bank, but you can even find some better rates possibly on an online bank. So not that we endorse Ally, but that's what we use, and it works great.
Yeah, I think it's great advice, because you got a short-term situation here. We don't know how many years she's going to have, fewer rather than longer. Obviously, at this stage of her life with what she's dealing with, and so you're right. This is let's make sure we use every penny of it to take care of her, give her comfort and dignity in these days, So and look, the money market's going to get you more than it ever has. I should say that.
Yeah,
more than it has recently.
That's right. Yes,
because of where we're at with the interest rate. So it's a good place to park it.
And making sure that her care is well too, because that's a pretty inexpensive. On average, people are spending even $9,000 a month on some nursing home rooms for a single room. So it's a very, very expensive place. So it feels like, Paul, though, it's a very reasonable price that you gave me. I was expecting it to be a lot more. So I'm thankful for that. And again, that half of it is covered with the checks that she gets as well. So I hope that helps, Paul. Thank you. But Ken, that stuff is hard. That's why long-term care insurance is an important thing to play. Like when there's all these parts of our money that you look at different stages of life, whether it's life insurance, getting a will, like all these things, looking at that as a big picture is an important play. So
absolutely.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for the call. This is The Ramsey Show.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
It is launch week for our brand new Gazelle debit card. This debit card will help you spend and save the Ramsey way. The Gazelle debit card works the same as your standard debit card with the same FDIC protections. And no, we're not becoming a bank, but we have partnered with Pathward NA member FDIC to provide banking services behind the scenes. So that means that we can offer the same FDIC protections, and you will not be flooded with debt and credit card offers. So there's no junk mail from us. So the Gazelle comes with a debit card, spending account, and mobile app. And it also connects to EveryDollar seamlessly, so you know exactly where your budget stands and where your money is going. So it is free to create an account, and there's no monthly fees to maintain your account and no overdraft. So there are no overdraft fees, which banks make billions on every year. It's insane. So our team is continuing to add new features like joint accounts, Apple Pay, and more, all with the goal to help you reach your money goals fast. This is really, really exciting. It is so beautiful, the Gazelle card, and just a point of conversation. You know, when you pull out the Gazelle card, people are probably like, what is that?
Yeah.
So good point of conversation.
It looks great. I was telling Dave yesterday that like the benefit of this card is if you're just kind of liberal with how you move your hand and arm around when you're using it at the grocery store, people are going to see it and be like, what's that?
What the heck is that?
And you get to talk about what you do and how you live and with your money.
And when you see other people with it,
it's like, a great looking card.
Yeah,
it really
is.
Speaking of fees, I got to tell you, are you done? Oh, sorry.
Well, go to RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle to sign up for your free account. Again, RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle. Sorry, I had to tell the people where to get the beautiful card.
I'm very excited to run this by you. I did not tell James, the producer, about this, but he'll be okay. So I was talking about this on the Ken Coleman Show today, and I got to get your take on it.
Okay.
So there is a lawyer. She is a consumer advocate lawyer out of Hawaii.
Okay.
And she is suing Romano's Macaroni Grill, the restaurant chain, because she went to eat there recently. And she looked at her receipt, her bill, when she was getting ready to sign and they charged her a $3 inflation fee. They didn't tell her this when she came to eat some pasta. And she's suing them. And she's like, this is crazy.
Why don't they bake it into the price?
I'm just telling you.
Bake it in.
Macaroni. I like what you're doing there.
Thank you.
But restaurants, she goes, restaurants are doing this more and more. And if you're not paying attention to it, they come up with a term for a fee, and it's a fee. You were talking about banks and fees.
Yes.
And it made me think about this. And so I want to warn the people.
What?
Because she is suing him. She's going,
You call from the mountaintop, Ken.
I'm just saying.
Tell him from the mountaintop.
I'm just saying, you better look at your receipt. Because if Macaroni Grill's doing it, somebody else is doing it. And so they're charging an inflation fee. Now, here's the deal. Restaurants can do anything they want. It's their business. I'm all for that.
Yes.
All I'm saying is, when I show up and I'd say, a party of 5, please, I would like them to say, oh, by the way, are you aware that we are now charging you a $3 inflation fee? I don't want to find out about it after I've taken my fill of bread and pasta.
Yes.
Do you think that that's right? That they don't tell you about it?
I think it's not a smart business move. I would put it in the prices. Because everywhere, Winston and I just went out on a date night on Wednesday night and we looked at the prices. And again, Nashville, I guess, can be bougie. We were at a pretty standard restaurant, I'd say. But it's just, we even laughed. We're like, oh my God. It's just a lot. Like what an entree costs. So I wouldn't flinch at my entree being an extra $1, right?
Fair.
And so put it in so I just think it's bad business.
It is. A $3 inflation fee. I mean, how stupid do these people think we are? We're just going to go, that makes a lot of sense. No, you just hit me for $3 for nothing. I mean, that's not even a real fee. You just pulled that out of you know what. And I got to tell you, I told my audience, I said, let me tell you, there's 2 ways to go about this.
Tell me, Ken.
You can go in and ask them. I just need to know before I take my seat. Do you have an inflation fee or some kind of...
You do that.
No, I wouldn't do that. I've given people who are non-confrontational that option.
Oh, yes.
I'm confrontational. I love a good confrontation. I'm waiting until the bill comes, and I'm doing this number, and I'm looking at it.
Looking.
And I'm looking, I go, okay, I can see there. I got the antipasta. I'm going down, and I see that, and I go, excuse me. Ma'am, sir, come over here. What is this? And the waiter tells you, and you go, I'd like you. We have 2 options here. Either you can tell your manager I'm not paying for it, or you can send your manager over here, and I'm going to tell him that I'm not paying for it. That's what I would do.
And that's what you would do.
Someone has to stand up against the fees. Of the people, by the people, for the people. I'm a man of the people. I'm just saying, that's ridiculous.
I know, but the thing is you wouldn't think it's ridiculous if they baked it into the price of your food.
But that's not the scenario I'm bringing up.
I know.
I'm saying that you have to fight for your finances, people. $3 here, $3 there. That kills your budget.
Before you know it.
I'm just telling you, James. Somebody has to stand up for the people.
This is a great tease because we're actually doing a fine print episode next season all about Macaroni Grill. So
we are? Oh. Well, listen, nothing against them.
He believed you.
Hey, listen, I like to frequent that joint. They got good food, but I'm going in there, and believe you me, I'm going, hey, party of 5, please. No inflation fee.
Here's what's fascinating to me, though, that she was so...
She sued him.
She sued them.
I like it.
Like, you go to lawsuit,
I like it.
No, I think I just pay the fee. I don't have time.
Okay.
I don't have time in my life.
Okay. I want
to
make
deal
sure
with that.
the people hear what's happening.
To deal with that.
I'm anti-inflation. Rachel's like, I don't care. I have so much financial peace that I don't care about
inflation. If I went to Olive Garden and it was an extra $2, I am not going to think, I'm going to lawyer up.
I didn't say go around suing people.
Well, I just told her, though. I just said, I can't believe she went down the road. I would just pay it. And now you're saying, well, Rachel would just pay it. She don't care about your money or inflation.
I'll tell you why I like it. She's an actual lawyer, so she's not like hiring.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
I like that it's her lane, and she's kind of standing up for the people.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And
she was.
I think it
$3 inflation fee. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Okay, so what should they do? So let's say Macaroni Grill.
You know what?
Can we just talk about the situation? What
I'm glad you asked me. I have an answer.
Well, good. So if Macaroni Grill said, I am not going to raise our prices because it is so, we're going to figure out how to do this to help the people.
Sure.
We're not raising prices. Everyone else says we're not going to.
Right.
But to offset hourly wages, to offset the price of food, the gas that's in the trucks that deliver the food are charging us more. We're just getting charged more to run business today, which is what's happening.
Yeah.
So if every customer pays an extra $3, it helps us keep the food costs down of what the customer has to pay, and it's great.
How about you come out and say, you know what? We as Macaroni Grill are not going to charge you a $3 inflation fee. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep prices the same because we know that everybody wants to go out and have a nice meal every once in a while. So we're going to be the restaurant chain who doesn't jack our prices because as a corporation, we make a good amount of money and we'd love for you to support us. Now, you know what would happen? Everybody would go, let's go to Macaroni Grill. Okay. And everybody's going to tip the waiters and waitresses very nicely.
Well, I see on the board here, Rick has something about restaurants are giving discounts.
Now, this is talk radio.
Okay.
Live live reaction. Rick,
are you hearing us chat about Macaroni Grill?
Yes, I did. How you doing today?
We're
good.
doing great.
What say you, Rick?
What a lot of restaurants around here are doing, which I'm surprised they didn't do it in the beginning, because anytime you use a card, those businesses are getting charged by the people that process the payments.
Yep.
So what the restaurants are doing around here, there's been 2 or 3 of them here in our area locally here, that what they're doing is if you pay cash, you pay a cheaper rate, and they're basically, if you use a card, then they're passing that payment on, so that's a way for them not to have to raise prices.
On to you.
And it's getting people to use cash, too.
Love it. Now that's innovation without sticking it to the little guy who just wants some breadsticks, you know?
Yep.
That's so good, Rick. Thanks for calling in on that, because
that's a great, thank you, Rick.
So restaurants out there.
Yeah.
Rick makes an excellent point.
Hey,
we're
we
all
want to
about
stop
cash.
inflation. Everybody stand together.
Take your Rachel Cruz wallet, take out the out to eat money, add the cash, and
Look
you
what
get
she did
charged
there. Look what she did
less
there.
than if you used a card, because there's no fees for the merchant. They
All
don't
right,
have to
see,
pay.
this is how we fight inflation.
How do we think through this, America?
You know what we ought to do, James? 30 days. All Americans decide we're only going to eat stuff in our house. We're going to go on a spending freeze. Watch Target, Walmart, Kroger, and all of them drop prices. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
This might be the only thing that can unite America.
There it is.
We can be united again.
Ken and Rachel for America.
This is the Ramsey Show.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
The Ramsey Show, where we are taking your calls about your money, your career, your relationships, anything and everything at 888-825-5225. Up next is Karina in Boise. Hey, Karina, welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. How can we help?
So last week, me and my fiance broke up because we couldn't decide on finances. And also, more importantly, we couldn't decide on how to inherit our kids. He has 2 boys, and I have 1 son. And I have a paid-for house, and I make a bit more money than him. And he has a house with some equity in it, but he has a roommate on the title and mortgage because I guess they invested together. And then, so I am Christian, and I know God wants us to put our spouse before our children, but I think in our arguments, I was just having such a hard time. And, I haven't been with my fiance, but for a week, but just moving forward with him or without him, I need to figure it out for the next time that this comes about and, figure out how to deal with it,
Do you guys share children?
Yeah, children.
Are your children from different folks? You share them? What's the situation?
Oh, yeah, he has teen boys with his first wife.
Okay.
And I have a son, and I pretty much raised him alone. His father was not involved.
Okay,
so,
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the disagreement about, Karina?
So I think it all started when I mentioned to him that when I moved into my house, which is paid off, I wanted to leave this as an inheritance to my son because I think I sacrificed a lot of quality time when my son was little because I was going to school for engineering and I was single and I was working. So I didn't get to spend that quality time with him. And when I finally got that stability, I wanted to give it to him, kind of to make up for what I couldn't do before. Mm-hmm. So it's really emotional for me to talk about finances. And my ex-fiance, he wasn't understanding that. And I, to this point, I get it. Like, your spouse should come first, but in terms of finances, I'm just having a hard time dealing with that.
Yeah. Did you initiate the breakup, or did he?
It was just kind of mutual. We just kind of got tired of talking about different scenarios and how we can make it work. And we both argued our points. Like, I know he wants to protect his children, and I want to protect my son in terms of, you know, what we have established already. Mm-hmm. So
what's your question? What's your question for us specifically?
Like, how do you go about finances in a second relationship when you already bring in children? Do you
because how old are the kids?
Disinherit them, or do you just not get married?
Yeah,
my son is 21.
Okay.
And then his kids, he has a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Okay.
So no, I let Rachel take the bigger crux of the relationship and money, but
he's 21 and he has a 15-year-old.
No, my son is 21. My fiance is 40.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought you meant he has more. He, as in your fiance. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, I just want to point out something that's come up twice in the conversation with us, and I just want to get that out of the way, and I let Rachel kind of help you on this, and I can weigh in on the marriage stuff too. But this idea that the Bible says that you value your spouse over your kids, this idea that means you disinherit your son. No. This is all going to fall under the same umbrella that Rachel's going to advise you on y'all being on the same page. And it doesn't matter if the kids are coming in from previous relationships or not. But under no scenario are you going to disavow, or as you're saying, disinherit your son. That's not part of the equation. And if that's part of the conversation, it's not healthy, and you did the right thing by walking.
Yeah, and Karina, for you as a mom, because I can only imagine the sacrifices that you made when he was little, and that's where a lot of this emotion is coming from. And so I feel like I would kind of challenge you to say, you know, this is a symbol. This house is a symbol of your hard work, you feeling guilty, probably a level of mom guilt of leaving your son when he was younger, and it's excruciating. You know, when I have to leave my kids, I had a 4-year-old crying in the garage when I pulled out to come do this show. Oh. Like it's not fun. Like it is hard as a mom for those working, and that you're like, oh, and so you as a single mom especially went through so much, Karina, so much in order to have this. But I would just challenge you, not that this would change your decision, but I want you to, if you can, separate this house and what you did for your son and the relationship you have with your son. This house has become a symbol, and I don't want it to be the make or breaking point for you in the future with relationships. And I understand that it's to protect this for your son, but just as a mom, I don't want you to carry that burden of still feeling like I have to make up for what I did. Because Karina, you did what you had to do. You were a single mom, and that was the situation you were in. And so that you are not a bad mom for doing this. So giving your house a son or not, giving your son a house or not, doesn't make you a good or bad mom. So I want you to kind of separate that language in your head, because I feel like that's twisted into this decision. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because I applaud you for being so protective of it, because again, I hear what you walk through with it, so it makes sense. But I also don't want this house to be the symbol of what I did and I feel bad, and now I have to make it up to my son. Because you know what your son wants, Karina? He wants you. And if he wants his mom to be happy, if this man that you love, your ex-fiance, you know, if that is a relationship that is good for you and it is healthy, and you guys can find the way to reconcile these two things, or this thing of the inheritance, which is a big deal, but also at the end of the day, like, there's a point too of companionship and love in a marriage.
Yeah, that's the question I have, Karina. And pardon me for I was trying to listen. Are you guys on the same page with debt and everything else, or is there also some separation in the way he sees money and debt and all that stuff? Because you've done everything the right way. Where are you guys on the rest of the stuff, the rest of the money stuff?
I mean, he's good with money, and yeah, he's very smart with money, and I don't think there's an issue there. I think it's just more about combining households, and you know.
Is he on the same page with you?
And I'm bringing in one.
Right. But let me ask you this: Is he on the same page in relation to debt? That's yes or no.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is he also on the same page that when we come together as a married couple, we combine our finances?
Yes, he is more for that than me.
Oh.
He said that we should combine everything, and at the end of the day, we just split it up. Like, when we both pass away, we just split it up evenly between all our kids.
Okay, all right. So
I'm the one that's kind of like selfish, because I'm bringing in more,
right.
And he has 2 kids, and I have 1 kid.
Yeah, but Rachel's right. I hope you heard Rachel. I'm telling you, she's right. So I got to tell you, I'm taking a little bit different tack here. I think you guys need to have a nice dinner, and I think you guys need to sit down and get this hashed out and say what really matters, and let's look at the big picture. And you're gonna have to let go of some stuff. I love Rachel's advice there. I don't know. I want to see her. I want to see her give this a chance.
I know, because
I feel like this is just about the investment through the inheritance.
I know, and it becomes this thing, and we don't want our stuff to own us. And at that point, it's owning a part of you for good reason. I understand it, but I want you to have freedom from that, and I think it's attached to that mom guilt, Karina, that I really want you to think through. So thank you for calling. I hope that helps, and you know, I hope you guys can go the way that you need to go, whether it's together or separate. Thanks for calling. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I am Rachel Cruz, hosting today with Ramsey personality and bestselling author Ken Coleman. Going to the phones, Will in St. Louis is up next. Hey, Will, welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can we help?
I have a career question. I work for a medical device company. I work in a very small department of that company. There's 4 of us for the whole country. And a couple of days ago, I presented a business plan to the VP that identified some gaps in our department and how to fix them and make it work better for the company as a whole. And in that business plan, it created a new manager role. And this morning, I got off the phone with him, and he wants me to take over that new manager role that my business plan called for.
Nice.
And now I'm just extremely nervous and scared. I felt like I'm going to throw up all day.
Yeah. Hey, be careful what you wish for in one of those deals, huh?
Yeah. So I've never been in a leadership role before. And like I said, it's a very small team. I'm actually the newest person on this team.
Okay. So you would be leading 3 other people, if I heard that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what's your question? I can't wait to answer it.
Just how do I transition from? So I've been on this team for 5 months, so I am the newest guy.
Right.
How do I transition from being the new guy to being a leader and making this huge jump that I've never attempted before?
Yeah. Okay. Great question. You ready?
Yeah.
You got something to take notes with? Because I might have you write a couple things down. You ready?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So you have worked how long in a professional environment? How long have you been an employee?
I've been in the medical device arena for 5.5 years.
All right. So 5.5 years, you've been a follower. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And so you've probably had some good leaders. You've probably had some bad leaders. Maybe you've had some average leaders. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the exercises I want you to go through the next couple days, and then preferably tonight, start with this, is I want you to write down all of the things that you would say, I've worked under good leaders, and these are the good attributes. These are the things that I remember seeing and thinking that was a good leader. That was good leadership. And then I want you to do the opposite and say, okay, when I worked for a bad leader, this is what they did that I thought was bad and it wasn't good. And this is just you kind of, as a follower, you know what good leadership looks like. You know what bad leadership looks like. And I want you to just write it down and go, okay, so now I remember and I've got some experience. That's the first thing. The second homework assignment that I want you to think through is I want you to think through what you think now, because you came up with this whole business plan and you came up with this idea of a manager. Now they're going to give you the role. And I want you to ask yourself this question. If I were in the other 3 people's shoes, how would I want me to treat them? Like, so put yourself in their shoes and go, wait a second, I'm the new guy. And now I'm going to be in a leadership position. If I were in their shoes and I had a new guy come in and all of a sudden he was my leader, how would I want to be treated? Do you understand that question?
Yes.
All right, write that down. All right, now, those are the 2 homework assignments, and that's going to put you in the right place, I think, from a posture towards how I'm going to treat people. Now, there's some basic exercises that I tell new leaders because everybody's scared to become a leader when you haven't led before. But I think if you do 2 things every week, every week, I think you could become a tremendous leader. And these are the 2 things. And even if they're remote, I want you to do these 2 things every week. The first thing is I want you to get on a regular schedule of once a week, at minimum, asking your team, the 3 people, how are they doing personally? This is not a how you doing in the hallway as a greeting. This is, hey, how are you doing? How's life? Learn about their marriage, their kids, their mom and dad's health. Learn everything you can about them, and you're asking them on a regular basis, how are you doing? Now, listen, leaders, that's a personal question. How are you doing?
You might get some personal answers.
You're going to get some personal answers. But this is where you begin to build a relationship with them, and they learn that you care. Now, the second question is, how can I help you win in your role? How can I help you win in your role? That's it. You can say it however you want to, but that's the heart of the question. So the first question is a relationship question, and the second question is a servant-based leadership question. How can I help you win? Well, I need this, or this has been happening. I think we need to look at this. Okay, great. Let me see if I can get in and make change. And those 2 questions are going to help you develop trust and then credibility. Too many young leaders try to go in, Rachel, and establish credibility when certainly in this situation where you're the new guy, maybe you have some older coworkers, and all of a sudden you're the new green leader, and they're kind of looking at you, kind of going, what's the story here? Whose butt did he kiss to get here? And there's all that cynicism. They try to win on credibility, and you cannot win on credibility until you win relationally.
Yes.
Win relationally first, professionally next.
I could probably take over your job, Ken. You know why? I wrote a few things down as you're talking. I was like, what am I? Because
You followed though.
I have Kate. I have a brand leader.
Yeah, you do.
Who reports to Jerry Breland, a board member, right? So like,
what would you say?
We're in the chain of command. So I thought, what makes what the leaders I've had working? What do I love about them? Like, what makes them a leader? I put personal in the question, what can I do for you?
You're kidding me.
Literally. Look at that.
That's incredible, folks. She
So
did not know.
I'm not kidding, Will. When I feel like she knows what's going on, and it's been, a hard season with the kids or something, and she asks, okay, so how was so-and-so this morning? How did she do? I'm like, oh, thank you for just knowing me, because it may be a hard morning, and I just appreciate your acknowledgement.
That's it.
And then when they ask, hey, what do you need from me? It is like the most humble question, because a lot of leaders in a toxic way feel like, what can you do for me? Because I'm leading this thing.
That's right. Well, let's flip that for a second.
And it's like when you're a servant leader and you truly are like, hey, I'm actually going to serve you as my team. Like that's a paradox that people are not used to, Will. And people will be loyal to you because, man, that's hard to find.
So let me flip that right as in Rachel's scenario there. If as a leader, new leader, current leader, whatever, if you ask the how can I help you win in your job question and you've not established the personal relationship, guess what? People are afraid to tell you because they feel like if I tell you what I need, you're going to think that I'm weak, that I can't do the job, and you may fire me. But when you lead with the personal and you say, how are you doing? And the employee feels as though you know them, see them, as Rachel said, and then they trust you because of the relational connection. Then they're going to go, well, I'm glad you asked me.
Hey, Will, there's 3 guys on the team or 3 people?
Yes.
Yes. You know what I would do? I would take are you married, Will?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. I would take you and your wife and take each of them separately out to dinner. And if they're married, bring their spouse. There's just 3 of them.
I love it.
You don't have to do 20 dinners because there's not 20 of them.
Begin to build a relationship.
Yeah, and just be like, hey, I want to take you guys out to dinner and kind of get to know you guys on a personal note. And like that jump starts that personal connection.
By the way, I want to point out, Will, I don't know if you've been listening the entire hour, but I wouldn't take them to Macaroni Grill. You're going to get hit with the inflation fee. Or at least ask ahead of time.
And call that manager over, Will.
I call the manager and say, listen, I'm bringing in some people from my work. It's a corporate dinner, man. Am I going to get hit with the inflation fee?
What are all your thoughts on all of that Ken just gave you? What do you think?
I like it. Yeah, it's an interesting take on it. I've never thought of it that way before. And
Will, you can lead. You can lead because you can love people. We got too many leaders who don't know how to love the people that they're trying to lead.
Yep.
It's not that hard, folks.
That's right. Well, that hour's in the books. What's the old saying? Put this hour in the books.
Is that? I like this gesture.
I did a little gesture there. Gentlemen in the booth, thank you for all your hard work. Ken, always great to be with you. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, it's The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I am Rachel Cruz, hosting this hour with best-selling author and host of The Ken Coleman Show, Ramsey personality Ken Coleman. And we're taking your calls on life, money, relationships, anything and everything going on. We are here for you. And it's a free call anywhere in the country at 888-825-5225. So our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window covering. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use promo code Ramsey to get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Kelsey in Wyoming. My husband is a loyal Ramsey Show listener. After I tried to get him on board for years, and we are on our financial journey towards home ownership. We are so close, and I am making many sacrifices, but my husband won't make the one huge sacrifice that would get us in a home ASAP. He has a work truck, that he can use for all driving, and we're still keeping his fun car. She's got fun in quotes. Oh boy, that's got some emotion wrapped around that one. Whenever you go to the old quotes,
fun car.
Oh boy, the cost of the car includes paying insurance, maintenance, switching out seasonal tires, etc. While it maybe gets driven once a month. Boy, maybe's in all caps. Whew, the tension is building as I read this, folks. The way the used car market is and the Kelley Blue Book value, we would be able to finish funding our down payment with the sale of this car. He will not entertain this idea. Our rent is also being raised, and current projections have us taking another 2 years to save up. Help, please. Oh boy.
Oh man.
Wow.
Well,
layers.
Here's one thing I've learned though. You can't make anyone do anything.
That's a fact.
So Kelsey, you're either going to have to become really persuasive.
Oh, boy.
Because, like, you can't just, what are you going to do? Like, make him sell it? Like, so what do you do? What do you do? I would get underneath, really, like, your goals, what you guys want. And that's the idea, is getting on the same page. So I was going to say, if you would have your down payment saved up in 6 months, let it go, Kelsey. Let it go and just save up and do the down payment. But 2 years, that would frustrate me. That would be hard. My rent's being raised, and I'm like, man.
So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm all right. If I'm her, I'm not gonna keep, fighting the whole sell your precious car. Okay. So I'm gonna go, all right, I get it. I'm not gonna keep trying. I want to create more tension. I want to try to get you to sell your car. I know you love your car, whatever. But I don't want to wait 2 more years. Our rent's going up. So if you won't sell the car, what will you do? Meet me in the middle. If I let go of the car, what will you do? Will you work another job? That's what I do. I would take the car off the table, and then he relaxes. He takes a deep breath, and I know how dudes are wired. He thinks he gets a win there.
And he thinks,
And right when he starts to get comfortable, you go, but we got to do something. You got to give me something. Give me something, man.
Yeah. And he needs to know, too, like, for me, if I was in that situation, you start to feel like he loves this car more than our future. Like he's valuing.
Wow, that's a little much.
That's how it feels, though. It feels like if we are working this plan together, we know what we want. We want to be in a house. Financially, it makes more sense to be in a house than to have our rent raised for 2 years. You're choosing your thing over like where we could be. Like, she's not asking to take the money from the used car and go buy the car and go buy purses with it, right? Like
100%. Wait a second. This is great. I'm so glad you said this because we got to unpack this. I agree with everything you said except for the nuclear option there. You went nuclear and you can't do it.
I said it feels like.
Yeah, but you can't say that to him because you're going to push him away even further. He's going to feel guilt. Look. We got a guy out in the lobby shaking his head.
Listen, no.
And the lady's going.
She may not feel, and I'm not going to put that on Kelsey.
You can't say that. You can't say it feels like you love your car.
I disagree, Ken.
You can't say that.
If she feels that, I'm not saying she does. Let's pretend she does. Let's pretend that the way I could be like, man, that would be really hard, and that would be really hard. It would be. It'd be very frustrating.
I totally get that.
If I'm feeling that,
I get that.
I 1,000% would say that to Winston in a respectful way. But I'm like, babe, this
doesn't
is what
matter.
This
he
is
doesn't
what I'm
hear
feeling.
respect.
Then you're not being known in your marriage, Ken. If you cannot communicate what you're feeling,
you can say that.
What you're feeling?
No, you can say I'm feeling frustrated, and I know I came after you. I'm going to tell you. Now, we cannot have a conversation like this. I don't think you can say that to the guy because then you make him defensive. What I said was I agree that he needs to make a sacrifice. But if it's not that, it needs to be something else.
Yes.
And she needs to say, I'm feeling frustrated and I'm feeling like you aren't as committed to getting in the house as fast as I am, and I'm frustrated about our rent going up. And so you know what? I did come at you in the car, but I don't want there to be tension between us. But I'm asking you got to meet me in the middle. You got to come somewhere else. That's what I'm saying.
And I agree.
Don't say it feels like you love the car more than me. That's a horrible thing to say.
Okay, let me say this. Number one, I agree with everything you said, and I think that's a great option. But also, if she feels that way, though, if Kelsey feels that way, which I'm totally putting this on Kelsey, I think I think that is healthy. If John Deloney was sitting in here, Dr. Deloney, he would say, because it triggers a fear. It stuff in there.
It triggers him, all right.
And it's not a disrespectful.
That's right.
And it's not a disrespectful thing. But if I don't have the freedom to be able to communicate that to my husband,
I didn't say you didn't have the freedom.
You better not say that.
I said don't say that. I gave you a much nicer hallmark healthy relationship
is not marriage,
option.
man. No.
Okay, seriously. In all seriousness, you really believe that if you say to your husband, you love this object that he cares about more than you,
I could say
that doesn't trigger him in a negative way?
No, here's what I would say. I would say, man, this is man. Hey, man. This is how I've communicated. I would just say, I don't know. I'm thinking off the cuff here. That for our family and what our goals are in life, that we could be there so much sooner.
That's very different than what you said.
I'm not done. And because you're not wanting it, you're holding on to something that can push us forward. And underneath that, if we're going a level deeper, it feels like it's choosing like, gosh, the future or this thing. And walk me through that. I want to hear from you. What you're seeing, what is the value that this car is bringing? 'Cause I want to know that about you. Like, I want to know why this is this, but this is what's going on in me. I think that is marriage to me. That's marriage. So
I don't disagree with all of that version. That version was a little bit like less nuclear than the whole, it feels like you love the car more than me. That does not help. I just don't care.
I didn't say it like that.
No, you didn't.
But the sentiment
I had to add
is there,
some humor
and that you have to communicate that though. That
I do think that.
Because I do think for Kelsey that there's stuff under that. Like
I
that
agree.
Sucks.
Listen, I agree with you. You don't want to put him on the defensive. You want him to meet you in the middle.
And the way you say it, your tone is everything. So you can't go bicker and no, I don't think that. But for me to tell you, hey, here's ultimately what I'm feeling, and I'm fearful in that. Like, help me with that. Like, let's talk through that.
I would say I think it's okay to say I don't feel like you are as intentional and as excited about getting in the house as I am. I wouldn't say you love something more than me. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe not those words, but it could be the fear. And if it's the fear, she needs to communicate it. Okay.
I love it. Good stuff.
We're not marriage counselors. Let's just throw that out there. All right. This is the Ramsey Show.
If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. Ken and I are still debating, even during the commercial segment, but that's okay.
Not true. We're not debating. We're looking at the finer points of the conversation.
Anyways, just to conclude, we both agree. We both agree.
He needs to
sell the car, get into the house. Later, you can buy another car. Oh no, he's shaking his head. No, we're getting some mix from the lobby.
Well, you know what's interesting? We ran into a couple that's sitting out in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions who went through a similar scenario.
And she's a psychiatrist.
And full disclosure, he did sell the car, but then he got it back later.
Yes.
So that's an interesting tack that I did not think of initially.
Didn't think about it. Well,
so, you know.
It was good. Good discussion.
It's always good. What say you, America? Chime in. 888-825-5225. We were talking about
That's fair. If you agree or not.
Rate. Yeah, we had Rick call in with a real time. Look, folks,
Talk
we're right
to Austin,
here. This is your show.
Let's have some opinions.
Austin, let's move the phone lines around. Let's go. The people want to speak. Let's go.
They want to speak.
This is your show.
All right. Up next, we do have Natalie, though, waiting in Colorado Springs. Hey, Natalie. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling. How can we help?
Next August, my husband will retire from active duty and transition to a new career.
Oh, wow. Thank you guys for both of your services. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. We have extra savings over and above our emergency fund. Should we save this money for the transition or spend/put it towards the house?
How much is it? How much is above the emergency fund?
We have about $63,000 in our emergency fund, and then we have another $22,000 just kind of sitting there.
Okay. And when will he be back? Did you say, or he'll retire?
August of 2023.
Okay, so it's still how much is left on your house?
$380.
$380. Okay. And any other debt?
No.
No. Are you guys investing 15%?
Yeah, we have about $500,000 in retirement.
Oh wow, great job.
And then another small investment, about $46,000.
Amazing. Natalie, if I were you, I would just go ahead and throw it at the house. You guys have a great emergency fund. I mean, you have $63,000. And if there is some time for transition when he gets out to transitioning to something else, you guys have the fund there if you need it.
Right.
But above and beyond that, I would go ahead and throw it at the house.
So that brings up my second question. He's wanting to get a camper and Jeep, like a different vehicle and camper. I'm wanting to throw this money at our house debt. And I know you all typically you advise 50% of your annual income, and our annual gross income is about $150,000.
Not to be in motors and wheels is what you're clarifying, yeah.
Yes.
And how much would the camper be?
We're looking at probably, after we trade in a vehicle, probably at least another $40,000 to get into what he's looking at.
Okay, and then how much would the Jeep be?
Well, it would be a larger SUV, but total to get into a camper and a larger SUV would be about $40,000. So we're working on saving towards that right now.
Oh, okay. I hear you. Are you guys throwing any extra at the house per month?
We only throw $300 a month extra at the house
there.
Right
okay.
Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for what you guys are saving at the pace you're saving, will you guys have that $40,000 when he gets back from when he retires in August? No, you won't. So you'll have to continue to save?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he gets both. He's got to choose, right?
I agree. And that's where we're separated. I would like to throw it at the house and keep tent camping. And he would like to, our kids are growing up, and he wants to get the camper and the vehicle now.
Okay, and see, now this is where we got to go after this, what he wants. Like, I want to dunk a basketball in a 10-foot goal. Ain't happening. And so driving around all the time may not be realistic, but we could maybe rent an RV every once in a while. I have some friends that just did that with their kids.
Yeah.
They saved up for it, and so they went and they had a great time, drove all across the country, and then they dropped it off. And they didn't have to spend $20,000 or $30,000 or $10,000 or whatever. So, wanting to camp, wanting to make memories, I get that, but he's got to choose. He's got to choose. This is a relationship, and you got to go, look, I'm for it, but I really want this. And so what are we going to do? We can still camp out in nice tents, and we can maybe rent the occasional RV and make some memories, but drop it off. Because that's an asset that, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on a camper. I just wouldn't.
Yeah, for sure. So, my focus would be, he can get, one whether it's upgrading the car, and then I would throw the rest, at the house, Natalie. And then once you guys have this house paid off, which will be years, then you can really save up a lot and faster when you don't have a mortgage payment to go and do all those luxury things. So, I agree with Ken on that one. So that's great.
Can't have it all.
Can't have it all.
You can, but not at the same time, maybe. Maybe we say it
all
that
of it,
way.
Yep. All right, up next, we got Samantha in West Virginia. Hey, Samantha, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
So I was divorced in 2014, and I have 2 children, and I purchased a home before the tax season rolled around, and the way my ex-husband paid my portion of the house that I put into a new house was through his 401k, which it would cost a lot of taxes when tax season rolled around. So it ended up me putting a lot of things on credit cards. So I was buying things for the house, for my kids, and I have a lot of credit card debt. I'm remarried now to a very wonderful, supportive husband, and he definitely supports me wanting to pay off my debt. We don't have combined finances, and we've been married for 6.5 years, and I haven't tackled any of this debt. I worked part-time. I was a stay-at-home mom before I got my divorce. Mm-hmm. So I've been reading the Total Money Makeover, and my husband and I are reading Smart Money Kids. So I'm trying to kind of change what I've been doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Samantha, what have you been doing for work in the last 2.5 years in your new marriage? Have you been home still with the kids?
I was working part-time, and then this past year now I'm working full-time.
Okay. So yeah, we've had a lot of relationship calls, Ken, on the show this today. Yeah. And I mean, I'm going to continue to go back, Samantha, to what we've said to even past callers today. But getting on the same page it's so crucial when you combine, even from a logistical standpoint, when you combine your checking accounts and you guys are working as one, that speaks magnitude to how one you guys are. That's just like kind of a symbol, a data point to say, okay, if we can combine accounts and we're working on the same checking account, and when a paycheck hits, whether I'm full-time, part-time, he's full-time, whatever it is, the money hits the account, it is ours. We are one. There's a level of commitment, a level of intimacy, a level of richness that really happens when you say we really, really are going to lock arms and be a team, even with our money. And so he's probably hesitant, maybe because it was the credit card debt before, you came in. But do you feel like with money, would you say how you've acted so far in the marriage with money that you can be trustworthy? Like, have you established good money habits?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yes, I would say so.
So for me, it'd be different if you're like, I kept racking up credit card debt, and last month I racked up $2,000. I'd be I understand why he doesn't want to combine, because you guys are in two totally separate places. So hold on the line, Samantha. Austin's going to pick up and give you guys Financial Peace University for a year and Every Dollar, our budgeting app, to start working together, because it's crucial, Samantha, that you guys work together. And when you do, then I think that trust transfers, and he's going to be more on the same page of saying, hey, together we're going to tackle this debt. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I am Rachel Cruz, hosting with Ramsey personality and bestselling author Ken Coleman, the best in the business when it comes to helping people in their career. And you just have so many great tools too, Ken, that help people really get on this path of understanding.
Well, thank you.
What they're good at and what they need to be doing.
Yeah, we've got a great assessment that's only $10 for just a few more days. It's been a $10 sale on this assessment called the Get Clear Assessment. Here's the quick version of what it does. It allows you to get self-awareness in 3 key areas: what you're good at, that's your talent; the work you really love to do, that's passion; and then the results that motivate you. That's mission. And so when you can get clear on all three of those unique elements of who you are, and we put it together in a purpose statement that allows you to see at a high level, hey, this is purposeful work. This is meaningful work. In other words, I was created to do this. It allows you to have clarity and confidence. It's about a 20-minute assessment. It's only $10. It's called the Get Clear Assessment. It's only $10 for a few more days at RamseySolutions.com.
So good. It's great. I've known a few people that have taken it just in my own personal life, Ken.
Yeah, we actually shared Dave's results yesterday. We spent a whole segment on it and read his purpose statement out and walked through that. And
That's fun.
It's a fun tool for a teenager maybe trying to figure out what they want to do. Maybe that young adult who hasn't quite found that thing, or maybe for your spouse or loved one or friend or whatever. But yeah, it's a fun awareness tool.
For sure.
I went through it with your brother-in-law.
Yes, Bill. Well, he was in my head too. Of one of the people that I know that's
all it does is give you a mirror and lets you see yourself uniquely as the world sees you, as your creator sees you. And it's a fun little tool.
So good.
Yep.
All right, up next we have Tiara in Cleveland. Hi, Tiara. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you both for taking my call today.
Absolutely. How can we help?
So I just bought out my lease, which I know is a big no-no now, but I'm not quite sure what to do with it from this point on. My car as a whole, I can sell it for about $25,000, and I owe $14,000 on it. So I was thinking of doing that and just using what I get back from that to just buy a used car in full, or if I should apply that to credit cards or something. I'm really not sure what to
it's
do.
a great question. A great question. Well, I'm thankful. Yeah, you'll be able to get about $9,000 for it, which is great. So what other debt do you have? You mentioned credit cards. How much do you have in credit card
I
debt?
have about $13,000 in credit cards.
Okay.
$31,000 in student loans.
Okay.
And then the car is $14,000 remaining there.
Okay, perfect. Any other debt, or is that it?
That's it.
Okay, that's great. And the credit cards, are there multiple cards that equal that $13,000, or is it one where?
It's three, but majority of it is on one.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's great. So, yeah, Tiara, I mean, I answer these questions a lot of, if I just woke up in your shoes, what would I do? And I would definitely sell the car.
Yep.
How much do you make a year too, just to throw those numbers in?
$52,000.
Okay. So if I were you, I would sell this car. I would get a $3,000, $4,000 car, not a great car. But I would pay cash for what we call a beater, just a car to get you to and from where you need to go, and then take the remainder of that, so another $5,000 of that you'll get from the car, and start throwing it at these credit cards and start working your way out. So tell me, like, when you called the show, and so I know you're kind of at this point of change, what has happened recently for you to be like, wow, because you could just keep this this $14,000 car loan and keep going, but you're the one that even said I could sell it. What's caused some of your shift when it comes to the way you handle your money?
I'm just tired of paying payments.
Amen.
Pretty much.
Amen.
I don't want all of my hard-earned money to just keep going towards debt payments.
Yes.
I just don't think it's worth it anymore.
So good. And Tiara, I'm excited to hear you say that, because for a lot of people, that's when change occurs. You know, we always say it's the aha moment, this moment that you just look up and you think, all the money that I've been working for is going to a bank. I don't get to keep it. It is leaving me. And never again do I want to do that. And so when you kind of have that visceral response, it's amazing how much change can occur. And so I think you're at a beautiful spot in your story, Tiara. Like, you are in a point where you could say, from this day forward, I'm doing something different with my money. And honestly, for you, I would say, man, I would pick up an extra job. I would cut as much of your expenses as possible. I would work like a maniac, and I would knock out this credit card. I would knock out this student loan. And it may take you, 18, 24 months, up to 3 years. So there's going to be a season of sacrifice in your future. But it will be so worth it. When I talk to you in 2023, 7, you're going to be in a completely different spot financially. And you're finally going to say, wow, I'm free. Yeah. I'm free. And it's an amazing thing.
And Tiara, this is why we want you to sell the car. This is going to give you a huge jump start. When you start looking at all of the debt that you have and you can wipe away $14,000 in one transaction, that's going to give you a ton of momentum. And all of a sudden you can begin to see the top of the mountain. You know you can get there. Am I right?
Yeah, I agree.
I know. It doesn't sound fun, right? But if you want to get through this, you've got to jumpstart the process, okay? And you'll get a better car down the line. But working extra hard, doing everything you can. I mean, Gazelle intensity is what we talk about. That is, you are running for your life, your future life, and you are sprinting, and you can do this. I promise you can do this.
Absolutely. And Tiara, I would even take those 3 credit cards. I know you said that there were 2 smaller ones and most of them was on one. Then write those out. Write out that you have 4 debts that you're like, okay, here's the 2 small credit cards from smallest to largest. And writing out all your debt, because you could knock out maybe 2 of these credit cards with that extra money you have from selling the car. And it's like, they're gone. Cut them up. They're done. They are done. And that's going to feel so good. It's the small momentum, these wins that actually give you hope in the situation that you can know, I can do this. And let me tell you, this show gives us the opportunity every day to talk to people. And we've heard every number you can imagine, from debt level to income, everything. And the one consistent attribute that people have that stand on the debt-free stage and scream out that they are debt-free, that they have no more payments, is that they believe that they can. And they said, I'm going to take charge, and the decisions I have to make day to day, I'm going to make those decisions on what's best for my future and not give in to instant gratification and in the moment what feels good. But I have a big why. I have a big journey ahead of me. And they know that they can do it. Not that makes it easy. It's going to be hard. It's going to be exhausting. It's going to be exhausting. But the belief of seeing it, knocking out those smaller debts, there's something powerful about it. So hold on the line, Tiara, because Austin's going to pick up. And I want to give you Financial Peace University and Every Dollar for a year. Every Dollar is going to help you budget. It's going to help you stay on track. It's going to show you where I can cut stuff. It's going to keep you in line for your food, your rent, everything, utilities, everything. And it's going to be a great tool. And then go through the 9-week or the 9 lessons in Financial Peace University, because that's going to give you a strong foundation to understand some of this even more and what to do next. So thank you so much for the call. I love hearing those moments though, Ken.
Yeah.
And that's like a perfect example. And I hope, Tiara, you're still listening, because, man, we hear those calls and people say, I'm done. I'm done.
That's right.
And then they get to make a decision of, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to sell my car. I'm going to sell my car.
I'm glad you brought it up, because you can hear the weariness in her voice. You asked her why, what was the impetus of the call, and she goes, I'm tired. You could hear she's tired. But now she's got to go from tired to ticked off. Like, that's the progression. I'm weary. And then I'm going to get mad about this. Wait a second. I don't have to live this way. I don't want to live this way. I'm going to do something. So, Tiara, hang in there, but get mad. Get mad. Get ticked off at this debt. Make it personal. You're going to knock it out before you know it. You'll look back one day and you'll say, it was worth every sacrifice. It was worth every extra job. It was worth driving around a piece of crap. The whole 9 yards. It's always worth it. Trust me.
Our scripture today comes from Philippians. Brothers, I do not consider that I have made it my own, but one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and straining forward to what lies ahead. I press toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Jesus Christ. I am not interested in the past except as the road to the future. Versace.
Yeah.
Thank you, Austin, for pulling a Versace quote.
Did you give him the Versace nudge? Like, hey, I'd like to have a Versace quote every once in a while?
He's given me like Ralph Lauren or Lauren, however you choose to pronounce it, Ken. I know you have opinions on that.
We had a conversation
Versace,
about that one.
He gives me...
You like Versace? Have you seen Versace's house in Miami? You ever been to South Beach?
No.
Oh, I've been to it.
I've been to South Beach. You've been to his house?
Well, yeah, right there on the front. I didn't go inside and have a beverage, but I've been to the front door. It's right there on South Beach, by the way.
That's very fun.
Yeah, it's beautiful, as you might imagine.
I can only imagine.
You should go.
As some would say.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we have Sue in Milwaukee. Hey, Sue. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Rachel and Ken. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can we help?
Okay. So I'm basically a fairly new listener, and I'd like some guidance for help to settle an argument that I'm having with my husband.
Uh-oh.
And what the argument is do we pay off the house or do we not pay off the house to keep money around for this inflation and recession that's our way?
All right. Now, before we get any further, we got to know whose argument is which.
Should we know?
Yes.
Or should we?
We absolutely got to know because Sue's on the line. So what is is your argument? What is your husband's argument?
Okay, so my thought is from listening to you guys, we should pay off the house.
Okay.
Okay, and he feels that we shouldn't because we don't know what's going to happen with this inflation and recession into the next year.
Got it. All right, so...
Okay, give us some numbers, Sue.
Yep.
So how much is left on the mortgage?
Okay, so you'll be real surprised. It's just, and I just got my statement today, so it's $16,880 or $16,897.
Okay, and how much do you guys have in savings? $50,000.
And
okay.
what is your income?
Well, mine right now is zero, basically. I have a Beamer business, and I only make about, I don't know, let's say $5,000 a year. And he's been doing Uber, and he makes about 20.
Okay.
So y'all don't have like full-time job. I mean, so you're living on $25,000 a year, Sue?
Yeah, but you see, the thing that is he's like semi-retired, okay?
Okay.
And I lost my job, and I had gotten a buyout, I would call it, and that's what we're living on.
So
and that's what I have left from the buyout.
Is the $50,000 all you guys have that you're living off that $50,000?
We're living off the $50,000, but no, it is not all that we have.
Okay, what other savings or retirement do you guys have?
1.3.
Oh, amazing, Sue.
Okay.
So you're okay making.
Wow, I'm stunned. You have $1.3 million in retirement.
Yes.
And when you said your husband was semi-retired, what does that mean? Does that mean he's drawing some retirement?
No. Okay. So what it means is he retired like 3 years ago, I think it is now.
Okay.
And to just kind of keep busy and doing something, he does Uber.
Okay.
No, I get that. But is he drawing some retirement or pension or something from his work?
No pension, just Social Security.
Okay, so he's got Social Security. So you're living off of the Social Security as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay. How old are you guys?
He's 67 and I'm 64. And the thing of it is that we've been using that money, okay, to supplement, of course, our income because I don't want to start drawing on my Social Security till I'm full retirement age, which won't be till I'm 66 and 8 months.
Okay. All right. You guys need to pay the house off. You got $1.3 million, and you haven't even started touching your Social Security, and he's at least
wait, not for me, but
I know.
We are drawing on his.
Yeah, but you called and you wanted to settle the argument. I wish your husband was on the line. If he's in the other room, tell him to get on the phone because
he's out Ubering.
Yeah. Well, listen, you guys need to pay the house off. It's gone.
It's $16,000.
You have 50 in the bank. You got 50 in the bank. You still have 34 left after you pay the house off.
Right. So you don't think it would be, because his whole thing is, if we dwindle that down, is that going to be enough to last us till I reach full retirement age? So that if I start drawing now, like from our pensions or from our retirement fund, then we have to pay taxes.
Yes, it's enough.
On that money.
Yes, it's enough. But let's just get real in the numbers, okay? Here we go.
Okay.
What is his Social Security payment? What's he drawing out of Social Security every month? How much?
Just $2,000.
$2,000. What are your household expenses? Right. Including your mortgage, which is really low. What are your household expenses?
Our mortgage payment is only $397 a month.
Right, but what is your household expenses? Everything included. Groceries, utilities, everything. Gas, everything.
I don't know. I would say probably about $2,000.
Okay, that's just on his Social Security, all right? So he's also driving Uber, and you could work. Yes.
You could work another year, Sue. You could go do something
There's all
and bring
kinds
in
of
some money.
opportunities for you.
Well, that's why, it's like I'm doing my Beamer business, but that's hard.
No. You don't need to be doing anything hard right now. If you want to do that as a hobby, great. And it makes a little extra money, fantastic. But you two are still healthy enough to be working. And he's already driving Uber, so he's making money above and beyond. So we're going to give you guys Financial Peace University, and I want you guys to get on a budget, all those things. But here's the point. You guys are going to make life even easier, even more inflation-proof by paying off the house.
But you don't have a mortgage. You guys have no payments.
That's $300 a month back in your account.
And when there's no risk, right? If the whole world goes up, you guys got 1.3, a paid-for house. You got nothing.
You guys are in incredible shape.
And well done, Sue.
Okay,
you guys have worked hard.
I should just tell him we're just going to pay it off this month.
Yes.
Because the interest rate keeps going up.
Yes.
Due to the Treasury, whatever.
You guys have over $1 million.
Yeah, y'all are great, Sue.
You are inflation-proof.
You think so?
I know so.
Yes.
Okay, because he's totally against
Tell him to turn off the TV.
Yeah.
Turn off the news.
Tell him to watch this on YouTube.
And because seriously, I mean, you guys have another year, right? And then you guys can start drawing from retirement and start
8 months.
living your retirement dreams. You guys got this.
Well, for me, it'll probably be like 2 years.
Okay, but listen. When you pay off the house today, all right, or tomorrow, you have $300 now back in your account to take care of inflation. That's what he wants to know. I would speak to him that way. I pay off the house. Okay. We have no worries at all. And the extra $300 a month takes care of any inflation. You guys live very frugally anyway, don't you?
So you're everyday millionaires. You're doing incredible.
You're everyday millionaires. It's fantastic.
Baby steps millionaires.
Baby steps
right
millionaires. There it is. I can't
Sue
keep
right
track.
there. Sue right there. Man,
how about
well
that?
done, Sue.
When she said 1.3, I about fell out of my chair.
I was thinking 50,000. That's all you got in 16. Maybe I would hold off a little bit and bulk up that emergency fund. I was, thinking through with expenses. If you're only making 25,000 a year, and all this, and then she throws out the 1.3 number.
What do you got in retirement? 1.3. Just real nonchalant. 1.3, man. This is fantastic.
So great. Oh,
how about that?
That's hard work over a long time, Sue.
Poor guy's out there driving Uber right now.
Really proud of you guys.
Should have patched into the car and told him, hey, pal, listen, you're in great shape.
Doing great.
Go
Tell
play
him,
some
Sue.
shuffleboard tomorrow.
Go enjoy your life. Ken, great show. Everyone in the booth. Austin, Will.
All of
James.
them. Just all those
Zach,
guys.
Andrew, everyone back there.
All of them
and thank you, America, for listening. It's always a pleasure to be part of your lives. So thanks so much for calling, chatting with us. Hope you have a great weekend. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey, it's Rachel Cruz, co-host on The Ramsey Show. If you want to do your debt-free scream live on the show, visit RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream. We'd love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story. That's RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream.